Hey guys, Daz here from Total Reformation. Now in today's video blog, I'm going to take you through how to correct your posture while starting to be aware of what's moving and how to actually disassociate certain parts of the body, which is part of training. We want to be aware of what the body does. And using a wall is perfect for this. In fact, I do this in the first session with all my new clients. I bring them up to a wall and I get them into a position, and very quickly they realize how hard it is to maintain this beautiful posture and feel all your core system on and firing. So if you've got a wall, what we do is we just come up to it. We're always about pelvic width apart. That's just a nice spot. I just come off the wall just a little bit, about a foot or just under a foot, and then we just put a slight bend in the knees. Now, straight away you may notice if you're standing normally, most people are very rounded. So their head's off the wall, the shoulders are rounded forward, they've probably got a big arch in their back, and that's their neutral position, which for those people, unfortunately, what happens is a lot of strain in the upper back. There's a lot of strain through the back line. So we do need a lot of work because the head is friggin' heavy. So imagine walking around with a bowling ball like this. All these muscles here are going to be long and overworked and in a lot of pain, giving you some headaches and stuff. So what I do is first of all, I just get people to find that position, soft knees. And the first thing I get them to do is we try and get the pelvis moving. So what I get people to do, number one, is pelvic floor. You need to be able to contract and hold pelvic floor. So that's ones and twos. And when you contract it, it's like a bit of an upward lift inside, it's like a bit of a pulling contraction. So that goes on and belly button goes in. For some people, that actually can be quite hard, especially for all the mums out there. And we work a little bit harder with the mums to get that activated again. So from that position, what we're going to work on is drawing up and in. And then I'm just going to get you to try and flatten your back against the wall. At this point, we want you to go as far as you can, just so you can experience the movement. And what most people will do straight away when they go to flatten their back against the wall is they clench their butt cheeks like that. And then they go, yep, I can do that. But what we say, right, now you've got that there, I want you to relax your butt cheeks. And all of a sudden they lose it again. And what we're trying to get them to really focus on doing is actually activating through the lower transverse abdominis and lower abdominals to pull the pelvis backwards, not using your bum. So that's our first part of the movement, is to see if you can actually roll your pelvis backwards and forwards without using your bum. And straight away what you notice is, oh, wow, I can actually feel my lower abdominals working a little bit harder to pull that pelvis back. You can actually dig in with your fingers sometimes and just pull upwards, so you're almost mimicking the action of the abdominals, and just to help visualize a little bit more. So try that, see if you can just get a couple of those with breath, tummy and pelvic floor on, and see if you can do that without using your bum. So that's number one. Then I'm going to bring you up to the upper body. As we said before, most people are very rounded, they're off the wall. So the first thing I try and get people to do is I say, can you put your back of the head against the wall? And this is what you'll find. They do that, they look up because they're so tight through here, they're so kyphotic through the upper spine, they can't do it. So we're gonna have to do a lot of myofascial release through the pec area, through the lats, all this sort of stuff to be able to pull the shoulder blades back. But if you're pretty good, this is what we're gonna aim for. Put the elbows against the wall, and they're going to stay there the whole time, making sure everything else is on. We're going to put the head against the wall and a little bit of a double chin action. Okay, so we're hitting more of the back of the spine. And we're going to see if we can hold that position, which is quite hard for some people. So tummy, pelvic floor, tail back, and straight away I'm feeling all my core, my obliques, transverse abdominis, everything, lower abs, and we're going to hold that position. And here's the tricky part. I just get people to breathe, because most people are like, oh, I can't even hold this. So what we need to do is we've got to keep that belly button pulled in. I want you to focus on breathing into your rib cage. It's quite hard, because as you breathe in, you want to pop out here. So we're going to keep it in and on. And that's the first stage of our posture building. It's quite hard for a lot of people, and you feel the restrictions, so you need to go away and do a little bit of myofascial release. So a little bit of an advance from there if you want to take this further. Obviously when we train, we need to be able to move, we need to be able to have lots of mobility through our shoulders, but still being able to access our core and keep it on. So what I get people to do from there is I go, okay, position ourselves, tummy, tail under, shoulders back. From that position, I actually get people to bring their elbows up to 90 degrees. And straight away, again, we may notice that they'll round forward. So they've got to pull those shoulder blades back. And what we're thinking about the whole time is the shoulder blades. They've got to be together and down, okay? And what we're going to do from here is we're going to try and gently extend our arms up overhead without the shoulder blades moving. So they're actually glued to the wall. And this is very hard for some people. It's hard to really get their brain around this. So we've got to slowly lift our arms up, and you go as far as you can until you start to notice your shoulder blades start to wing out or flare out to the side. And that's your limit. And then what we need to be able to do is go away, do a little bit more myofascial release, and keep working on it until you can get a full extension up the wall, maintaining our neutral spine. And I'm not the best at this, I'm a little bit restricted through my chest. And if you can do it in front of a mirror too, you actually see what we see in most people when they go up. One arm will be tighter than the other, and we get to see all these restrictions and therefore throwing the body out of whack a little bit. And they're the people that might complain about tight neck, sore knee, sore ankle and stuff like that, and we can show them what's going on. So see if you can work on that. That's a little bit of a posture building exercise. So just a quick recap: find a wall, tummy, pelvic floor, tuck the tail under, don't use your butt, okay? Elbows back to start with, shoulders back, head back, and see if you can maintain that posture while breathing into your rib cage. Second part, shoulders back with breath. See if you can extend your arms up as far as you can go without letting go of your shoulder blades. So that's a good little bit of homework you can work on all the time, because every time you come in here, especially with us, when you work with us at Total Reformation, we're going to be looking at this the whole time. This is when we know you're progressing, okay? See how you go. If you have any questions, make sure you let us know. Hopefully you enjoyed that little tutorial or blog, but we do look forward to seeing you on the next video blog soon. See you.